Alright, so as you can see, I built the inner frame just so you guys can get a feel of what it looks like. The legs is one of the most interesting parts of the kit, considering that it's more interchangeable than I've realized, unlike the other master grade kits from the Wing series. That is, of course, because the legs is actually the two like dragon heads that you can actually move and pivot. Unfortunately, the unique features that shows the dragon leg feet is part of the armor of the red and blue parts, which of course I'm not going to put on. I'm going to have to paint so that way I can put it over this. Another feature, of course, is the actual connections for the hands. As you can see here, that I already have the two hands done. There's a armored frame that goes over this, and then there's a plastic polycap clip like this, where it connects these hands together. The rest are basic stuff, of course. You have the inner torso, the skirts. Back skirts are much more larger than the front skirts. The waist unit, the waist unit is basic, but there's a lot of intricate features in the waist unit that I didn't realize. Specifically, considering it's going to be a transformable, there's some movement in it. Now the torso, of course, is normal. There's, of course, little Zex marquees in there. And of course, I didn't put the head because the head composed of both the charcoal parts and some of the colored parts, which I find it a bit odd. I'm surprised that Bandai did not commit to a inner frame head. Kind of like the RX-72 has like an inner frame head. I remember that. But considering that the kit is smaller than the RX-78, hell, it's even smaller than I would say in height-wise, it's smaller than the 00 Riser and the Turn A Gundam. Yet it has such rich features for this scale. So at this point, I am going to prime it. However, I am not going to prime this kit, or I'm not going to prime this inner frame. Because I kind of realized something. I'm not going to expose this kit's armor. I'm only going to paint specific areas where they're going to be exposed. The most logical points that's going to be exposed would probably be the elbows of the kit, portions of the waist unit, I guess, maybe the side armor, the knees, especially when you bend it like this. I had to sand this down a bit. And above here, since this is part of the frame, I don't know about the foot as well, because you know what, you could cheat a model like this, specifically in parts that you don't know. Yeah, because none of the inner frame is being shown only in specific areas, like here in the back of the leg. You know what? Maybe I do have to paint the whole thing, but I don't know. Maybe the legs I can paint the whole thing. Arms, barely you can see anything other than the actual joint there. Hands, of course, has to be painted. The top, no, I don't have to paint that one as well. Not even the neck. See, these are things that I can justify making, because I can then cut down on certain time frames. I don't want to spend like an entire month making this kit. Obviously, I don't take a month. I take about 2 weeks, maybe less than that. But with the limited time I have, and the fact that I want to show you guys the best kit possible, especially when I make it, it's understandable that I can get away with certain things. Now, I can't get away with, of course, the remaining parts, which is the blue and the red. And speaking of which, I went to F&M Hobbies and I picked up another bottle of wine red, because even though I know I have enough on that one, it's better be safe than sorry and get one of these. I picked up other paints as well for my other projects, for those of you who know. Alright, enough of me babbling. I'm going to now prepare this, but in the meantime I'm going to start putting the parts in the respective tree, and then the next thing I'm going to do is start priming. Alright guys, so I am now prepared to paint my kits. As you can hear from the rumbling of my airbrush kit. My mini compressor. And I'm going to begin painting the red parts using the wine red color that I mentioned before. I give it 2 parts red and 1 part of Mysticolor leveling thinner, since this thing dries like crazy. So let me just pull apart here. I'll use this one for now. Only this part of the kit needs to be painted, so let's see how it looks. That came out pretty nice. Let me just take a look at it in the light. Yeah, I think I better give it a look. Now, here's the thing that I've always made a mistake. Never think you're gonna get it all done in one shot. Always do it in layers and layer it on. So I'm gonna use this one now. There she goes. That's fine. Let's try something else, like this. There we go. That's fine. Now, I put this part together using putty, the stick-on putties, but it doesn't want to stay still. I'm going to have to fix it in a minute. Yeah, this one's a little bit better now. So, I got to be very careful here and make sure it's all nice and even. Let's try this side, and I think I have to do it this way because there's another layer here. Another portion of the wing is this. It's a nice sunny day today. I hope everyone's enjoying it. Who's sending me a message? Alright, I'll leave that alone. face mask. This one I can do one-shot deal and let it. There we go. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh, okay. Let's try this one. The foot. And the reason why I'm showing this is because obviously it's when it transforms into dragon mode, as I call it, you see the two-headed dragon formed by the feet. Make sure you cover the bottom ones as well, especially the lower portion of it. I tend to forget that. See? Let's see what other item. Okay, we got this one here. Okay, this solid round part is for the arms. This is a portion of the crotch. Give me a second. I gotta untangle this. There we go. This part here. Now, this part is the armor around the leg, around the ankles of the leg. And I put it together and had it held up so that way I can prime it. Now I separated it because I didn't want the paint to kick in and I have to, unpeel it, but I'm keeping it separate so that way I can get, in the nooks and crannies of this part. Oversaturating with paint. I just want to make sure I get one layer on and then get the next one later on in it. There's another part of the leg. This one's a portion of the shield. Okay. And let's see here. Okay, here's the bottom part of the foot. That's good enough for now. Let's see here. shoulders, parts of the shoulder. Okay, here's another one. There's another round part here. There we go. So I'm going to continue on with painting all these parts red, and then I'm going to move on to the next part, which is the gunmetal.